The 1313 podcast does not condone the actions and behaviors of our fan base outside of 1313 sanctioned activities.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the 1313 podcast, the most merry podcast in the Star Wars universe. I'm Jacob.
I'm Jackson.
I'm Tommy.
Welcome back to all you Regs and to all you Shinies. Welcome to the podcast. This is the podcast. Please, before we begin, make sure that you press like, leave a comment, hit subscribe, hit the join buttons, follow us on all of our social media, that being Instagram, X, Twitch, TikTok. And if you want to go above and beyond to support the podcast, make sure that you're supporting us on Patreon. Yeah, I'm gonna go check the camera real quick. I see the SD card flash thing.
I think it's just the RGBs.
Yeah, it is the RGBs.
It was flashing in that corner between Jackson and I where our heads were, and it looked like a square. So I think that's the SD card thing.
No, I'm pretty sure there's enough footage for another episode. Cool. But, everybody, this is our last episode before Christmas of 2023, so Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
So, we are recording this bright and early today. Everybody's bright and bushy-tailed.
It's a throwback 1313 episode. We used to meet every Saturday at 8 a.m. to record.
Yeah, Saturdays at 8
why.
before we all went to work.
Yeah, and that's why we all sounded like we were high.
I kind of like shooting in the morning, to be honest with y'all.
Yeah. Yeah,
it hit different.
I have a different kind of energy in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
But so, how's everyone's week been?
Good. You've been what?
Now I'm just looking at you. See your week.
Oh. I've been working a lot. I've been working with Jackson.
That's fun.
So I haven't worked with him in like 6 months, maybe.
Yeah. Just because we have conflicting schedules during the school year, so I only work 2 days a week, and Jacob works every other day of the week. But it's more fun working with Jacob when it's just us. Like yesterday, we joked it was a family-owned business because our one assistant manager wasn't there, so it was just
nobody was there. It was just us.
Him. Yeah,
so we were like, the Lens Crafters is a family-owned business.
Yeah,
and then we rolled with that all day, and then yesterday was boring.
Yeah, it's been really boring too because nobody's coming in for the holidays, so we just sit around and show each other memes all day. Mm-hmm. I'll get anything productive done at work, and I have things I could do.
That was one of my favorite things about working there was you could get paid for hours on end to do absolutely nothing.
Yeah, and there's nothing you can do to bring people in the store. My only pastime activities are talking to Jacob, walking in the parking lot to pick up people's carts so they don't hit my car, and observing people outside, and that's about it.
And this week in Lens Crafters, some TJ Maxx driver hit an old man.
Yeah, dude, that was wild.
Did I tell you about that?
What?
Yeah, some lady hit a dude in the parking lot.
TJ Maxxers strike again.
And the police were called. The dude was put in an ambulance.
Dang. Pedestrian struck.
I know. I was at work. We have because we're located right next to TJ Maxx. We have a really funny joke that everybody that shops at TJ Maxx can't drive just because. Yeah. Our assistant manager car has been hit.
Parked car?
Yeah, his parked car was hit.
Cars.
One of the ladies that works in our doctor's office, she had her car hit twice. Her parked car hit twice in the same week. So we just joked that the TJ Maxx shoppers can't drive. And they just keep proving our point. So
that's awesome.
If you shop at TJ Maxx, stop. They don't have anything good.
They don't have anything good this time of year. It's not worth it.
The funniest thing I saw there was in their clearance section, they had Washington Commanders jerseys, but they had nothing on them.
Yeah.
Like the company sent a store blanks on accident. That was just like a colored jersey that had like the tag and like the size thing sewed on, but the rest of it was just completely blank. Like the spot where the name tape gets sewed on the back was like, it was just a vacant square where there's like stitch marks that means it should be there. It was funny. I was like, this is dumb.
I was going to say, I got my arm tattoo touched up again. I think I briefly mentioned it last episode. My artist just did darker line work. I didn't add anything new. I will another time. I'm still debating designs. My biggest and worst struggle right now is I wanted to do something with Thrawn, but I can't copy the Chimera because Jacob has it, and that would look stupid.
I would be very mad.
Be like, so it's figuring that out.
People already think we look the same at work, and now you have the same tattoo as me.
That's why I slick my hair back a little bit more now, especially when I've been at work, is so people can tell Jacob and I apart.
They still don't.
Because I'll come into work Monday when Jacob works a Sunday, and like people come in and be like, "You helped me," and I'll be like, "No, I did not."
It doesn't help that we look a little bit the same. We both have a tattoo on the same arm, and we
wear the
both
same
wear glasses
glasses.
that are similar.
It's basically the same Versace's, but
Mine are just better.
mine's better. But
So, and then I just worked pretty much all last week. Oh, I've been painting my Star Wars Legion dudes finally.
I did see that on
So
Discord.
I've been doing some work on, got all the black done for the undersuits for all the clone troopers and my Obi-Wan. So now I just need to do the blasters. I need to hit the droids with another coat of primer, and then I can paint those. Those will be so much easier than the clones, though, because there's so much less to do. Yeah, I'm super excited to get those all put together, and shout out to Rocco at Griffin's Lair for helping me out and giving me advice and giving me the best suggestions so I can do it right the first time.
hell yeah,
Not look like a clown.
That place is cool.
It is cool. They just they've finished the renovations on the second half of the building.
Oh, sweet.
So one half is just for playing now, and the other half is like a store.
Awesome.
So, yeah. Aside from that, we are also in the middle of our 13 Days of Christmas giveaway. Thank you everyone who entered.
Yes, we are. We are on the podcast. Should we say who wins today?
Day of. That's gonna be too confusing for me.
Okay, never mind. We just won't. We
Check on
as of
Instagram.
recording today, we were on day 5. It is getting closer to the final countdown. Please stay tuned to our Instagram, Twitter,
Yes.
Twitter, our Instagram, YouTube, and Discord is where we're posting them all every single week. If you are a YouTube person and you have one, please, I'm begging you for the love of God, email us or hit us up on Instagram. We want to give you the prizes. We just don't know how else to contact you besides adding you and maybe trying to find you on another social media.
That's wild. So, if no one has anything else, I have a little story time that's
All right.
Star Wars related.
Story time.
Story time.
So this story regards
Gather on
Hayden
the fire.
Christensen,
My favorite boy.
where 2 fans visited Hayden Christensen's house.
It was me, actually. It was me.
Was it the ranch?
Yeah, it was he has a house like an hour outside of LA.
Okay, because I knew he had a
Yeah.
place in Canada. Okay, so that's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
he lives
so
in Canada.
there was
know
a
that.
story where 2 fans, and I heard this from Rebel Force Radio podcast.
Okay.
Shout out to them. They are like one of the biggest, longest Star Wars podcasts out there. They
They're the
actually
best.
they used to have Dave Filoni on the show like right when he started Clone Wars, like very
Dang.
consistently. So there were 2 fans from Australia that traveled to LA from Australia to meet Hayden Christensen.
Wow.
And what they decided to do is they figured out Hayden's address and where he lives, and they showed up at like early morning hours one random day to meet Hayden Christensen at his house. So they show up and they watched him from a distance as Hayden was hanging his laundry on the clothesline so it could, hang out to dry. And then they watched Hayden. They didn't want to approach him then, so they watched him go inside his house. And then they went up to the front door and knocked on the front door. And they watched Hayden come to the front door. And
Doesn't
they,
help that his house is 90% glass.
Yeah.
If you've seen it, it's got a lot of windows.
So the guy wrote a note on his phone and held it up in the window of the front door for Hayden to read.
Yeah.
Basically just saying, like, I'm a huge fan. I love what you've done in Star Wars, And this is before Ahsoka and, like, the newer stuff.
Oh, okay. I thought it
so-
was post.
No, so they held up this note, on his phone that just said, like, we really appreciate you, we love your stuff. So Hayden opens the door and says, have you guys eaten breakfast yet? And they go, no, we haven't. It's super early. And he goes, well, why don't you come in? I'll make you guys breakfast.
No way, bro.
So these 2 dudes go into Hayden Christensen's house just for the first time meeting this man. And he sits them down, makes them breakfast, like from scratch. And they sit for like an hour and talk about like Star Wars and like the lore. And they talk about like just Hayden's life. And he talks to them about like, oh, you guys are from Australia, like traveling and stuff. He signed a bunch of stuff for them and took pictures with them at his house and then sent them on their way. And they've been, sharing the... And so recently that story has been, I guess, recirculating the internet because you have a lot of people being like, hey, Star Wars fans, this is a really cool story, but please don't do this to these actors.
Please do not go to
going
Hayden
forward in the
Christensen's
future.
house.
It doesn't help that. So Hayden has been living in
And watched
Canada
him.
for a very long time. He has like a farm right outside, I believe, of Ontario. So he's been there for a long time. But then when he started doing all his filming and stuff for Star Wars again, he bought a really small home right outside of LA, like in the hills, kind of like on its own property.
Yeah, that was the house. Yeah.
Yeah, but when he bought it, the realtors posted it, and if you could find the realtor listing, you could find the address, and it's not like in a gated community or anything.
Yeah.
So. Don't do it. Don't do that to him. If one of you guys showed up to my house, I would probably
Probably call the police.
It's not like at least it's not like a Taylor Swift show up to your apartment and stand out there all hours of the day waiting for her to come out kind of a thing at least.
Bad.
But
it's not like Michael Jackson just had a baby and he's going to hold it out the apartment. None of that.
It's just a simple man trying to make his way in the galaxy.
Hey guys, here's my baby.
I love. Have you ever seen Steve Harvey talk about Michael Jackson?
Yeah,
those stories are hilarious.
I want to go to church, Steve. I want to go to church.
Have you seen all the memes of Steve Harvey being dead?
I did. Yeah.
He just
so
straight up
dumb.
didn't die, and everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, rest in peace, Steve Harvey." The first thing I did was anytime I see some news, and I'm like, I always Google it first and go to the news tab, and if I see more than 3 articles about it, I'm like, okay, it's probably true.
Yeah, I saw Steve Harvey actually posted on his YouTube community tab saying, "I'm not dead. Please don't believe everything you hear on the internet. I am in fact alive."
that's pretty funny.
That's actually just his PR team. It wasn't him.
Yeah, no. So, so that's a Hayden Christensen
Think it's
story.
smart.
Very cool story for those
Very
two
neat story,
guys.
though.
But yeah, don't do what they did, but it makes for an amazing story.
That is pretty funny.
So then I have some other crazy news. I also heard this from listening to Rebel Force Radio.
I guess we're
where-
ripping off Rebel Force today.
Well, I got the story from
No,
them,
I'm joking,
but
I'm joking.
I have, yeah. So one of their listeners gave all this information to them. So Dave Chapman is the puppeteer and voice actor for B2-EMO in Andor. Okay.
Yes.
And Dave Chapman was at a convention in the UK recently, within the last couple weeks, and he gave some pretty credible, reliable confirmations to some of the rumors that we've been discussing on the show in the last month or so. And again, all of this is subject to change because this is just what he was told and he knew when Andor finished production.
Yeah.
And he was no longer needed on set anymore. So things can change. So if, this information is not true, it doesn't mean he's lying. It just means that Lucasfilm or Disney or both had to change up their release schedule.
Okay.
So Dave Chapman gave some information as for the plan for 2024 for Star Wars.
Okay.
The Acolyte will be the spring 2024 release. So
All right.
The Acolyte will be the next thing, according to him, that's going to come out.
We're due
Star
for a
Wars.
trailer soon then.
We definitely are. I feel like they'll wait till after Christmas.
He says specifically the first episode is set to air April 24th.
Jeez, we have to wait till April.
Yeah, so
That's gonna blow, dude.
that's what we're hearing right
How's
now.
the podcast gonna survive with no content?
I guess we'll start out to read books.
It was supposed to be, he says it was supposed to be Skeleton Crew, but Skeleton Crew got delayed to summer of 2024, but it's going to come out in the summer because of some production issue.
Okay.
And then Andor Season 2 will come out in late fall, early winter of 2024 is when it will start to air. Dave Chapman said that Andor Season 2 is filmed. Every scene except for, he says, 2 super secret scenes are completely filmed. He's already done all his work for his character. Most of the cast is already done. So with that information,
Luke
because there's
Skywalker gonna pop in.
there's more stuff I have, but what do we think about that stuff so far?
Very cool so far. My question is, if he's just an actor and puppeteer, how does he know all of this?
Because
Who told him?
Tell people, or it's a psyop. But
A psyop.
beyond that, at least, I mean, it's intriguing to hear that that's what is supposed to be the prediction of when these shows could come out.
Right.
I feel like that condenses the timeline so much to the point where Bad Batch and Tales of the Jedi don't have any room to breathe in that schedule.
Right.
So I'm taking that with a grain of salt, at least, to be like,
Right.
okay, maybe that's when they predict these could come out. But again, you still have more, because we know, as of right now, nothing has been said that Bad Batch Season 2 and Tales of the Jedi, well, Season 3, sorry, and Bad Batch, that Tales of the Jedi Season 2 aren't pushed to 2025. We know as of right now, from what they've said, that it's supposed to be next year.
Yeah.
Or at least in the summer of next year, too.
Yeah.
So
This kind of makes you go, because if you didn't know, I like to make the movies. And Lucasfilm just opened up their internships. And the internship that I applied for was video production assistant and editing. So if they just wrapped on Andor and they got 2 scenes left to do, and they need editing interns, if I get that job, what am I going to be working on? I
think it's like a Plo Koon kind of moment for those scenes, though.
It probably is, but like, if I get that job, does that mean I get to edit Andor?
That'd be pretty crazy.
That would be wild, bro.
I would poop.
You couldn't tell us.
Yeah,
you would
wouldn't
never
be able
get a
to tell.
job again.
You'd be sworn to an NDA.
Yeah, dude.
I'd be like on a call. They'd be like, "So what do they have you doing?" I'd be like, "Nothing. I don't do anything.
We'd have to
get the
garble.
coffee.
We have to garble Jacob's voice and do auto tune. And stuff.
I get the coffee. Hybrid was right.
This is Fulcrum.
Hybrid was right.
This
Hybrid
is
was
Fulcrum.
right.
Coming in with the transmission. Yeah, so, and then, I mean, for me, I think it's pretty crazy that Andor's done, except for those 2 scenes, which would explain the leak that Jacob brought up last week.
The leak that Jacob spoiled last week when we said we weren't going
where
to
we saw
talk about it.
the
Why was it
snowtroopers
there?
and Chopper
Yeah.
in a short video. So that might explain that specific scene that Dave Chapman was talking about.
Andor is actually on Hoth.
What if that also wasn't the secret scene, though?
You remember? Do you remember? Remember Barry Hoth? Do you remember?
I would not be mad if we return to Hoth. We've returned to Tatooine so many times, but we've never returned to other legacy
Do you remember
planets.
Tatooine, Jackson? Do you remember?
I
it?
remember Tatooine.
That's a South Park reference, right? It's member berries. There's an episode of South Park with member berries.
Maybe he hasn't
I
done it
haven't
yet.
got. I'm on like season 17 out of
okay.
26, so I'm almost there.
Yeah.
Jacob, face.
Yeah,
I'm almost there, bro.
I watch old movies now, not the South Park.
Dude,
I watch On the Waterfront with Marlon Brando. He could have been a contender.
Dude, I watch the Chatooine podcast with Star Wars Only, Palpamemes, and a couple other dudes.
Yeah.
And dude, Star Wars Only loves to bring up the member berries thing. He always is showing that little clip from South Park with the member berries. But in my opinion, he calls everything a member berry. Like anything that's been like, oh, the Bad Batch is clones. Do you member clones? Do you? And I'm like, all right, bro, that's a little bit of a reach. But, shout out to that podcast too. But
Nice.
yeah, so Andor done, and then Dave Chapman said Mando season 4 is heavily being considered to be made into a movie.
We've
That
heard
there's
the
a
rumor
lot
on
of
that.
there's a lot of conversation, but I think this gives a lot more validity to that rumor than just a couple random news articles that say that it's rumored. So it doesn't mean that it's going to be a movie, but Lucasfilm is, like we talked about last week, heavily considering Mando season 4 to be a movie instead. My question is, how will this affect all the stuff in the Mandalorian timeline right now if you put Mando in as a movie amongst all these shows?
It probably shouldn't affect it much at all.
You don't think?
It's
No,
just going to
because
probably be like
it's just
you watch a show, you watch the movie.
It's
kinda
a
continue
it's
with
just
it.
a
Bruh.
it's
Almost
just
spilled
a
it.
I
different
know.
time frame of enjoying the same media.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like if I watched the Obi-Wan whatever cut by some guy on TikTok that he edited the Kenobi show to be a movie.
Right.
I'm digesting the same content, same story, just in a shorter amount of time.
Yeah.
True.
So
Or even think about like a lot of the key moments we get in The Mandalorian, I guess in other shows. Like I guess for Kenobi, think about like the Obi v Vader scene. Imagine how many times people would go back to the theaters to watch just that scene
Yeah,
again
true,
and again as a
true.
movie. And if they really like it the first time, I mean like us, we're not going to see the movie once or twice. We're going to probably see it 3 or 4 times.
In the first
So they're going to
week.
make a whole lot more money than they could on a streaming service. So yeah, the argument's there.
Yeah, so I guess that's my next question is, do you think that, well, how do you think that a Mandalorian movie would perform in theaters?
Fan-
I think
Fantastic.
really good.
Yeah.
Because it's already one of Disney's best performing shows, minus Ahsoka now, which has kind of taken the top spot in Star Wars performance. So I feel like if there's a Mandalorian movie and the trailer is wicked and people are like, holy cow, like it's going to get a crap ton of money.
I would tend to agree because I think that Mando season 1 and season 2 are regarded as like S tier Star Wars to like 90% of the fandom.
Should have stopped after season 2. Says
And then
people online.
season 3 was a little bit more polarizing for people. There's a camp of people that feel like there was a lot of filler and there was a lot of stuff that people didn't like, that it focused more on Mandalorians and not the Mandalorian. So I think that doing a movie would reduce those complaints, because you don't really have any fluff in a movie like you do in a series.
What we've been getting with the series, especially with Dave Filoni at the helm, is Dave loves his lore, and things that could be considered to be filler to average watcher is just lore beats for diehards.
Yeah.
So movies don't have the same amount of time to do like lore beats.
Yeah.
So I feel like that would like example with the Path and the Kenobi show.
Yeah.
The entire thing with like Quinlan Voss was here. That I don't feel like that would make it into a movie, because that's a lore beat and it just takes way too much time to like it doesn't progress the story at all.
It's just there.
It's just there. So I feel like if they move it to a movie, they're gonna get back to like a concentrated story that doesn't have to like expand the universe. It just kind of like A to B. And I feel like that's what the casual watchers really want.
So what's your, if you have any, a prediction for like what would the movie be about? In my opinion, I think that we would be doing something that doesn't affect the overall story of The Mandalorian, because we still have that Dave Filoni movie that's going to kind of wrap everything up. I think that it would be like, okay, Mando said to Carson Teva he would work for them if needed. And maybe there's another Imperial warlord, or just kind of like a one-off villain that we could have, where Carson Teva steps in and he's like, hey, Mando, we need your help. And Mando and Grogu would fight this kind of warlord. Or maybe at the end of the movie, we would see, for the first time, Thrawn and the Ahsoka timeline tie in directly with the Mandalorian stuff as like a teaser for what's going to come next.
I would think if we were to do anything, because Thrawn's back in the main galaxy, we would get, I feel like Thrawn would have some, because I don't think that they would be like, Thrawn's the big bad guy in the Mando movie.
Right,
I do
definitely.
feel like it would be saved to heir to the Empire. So what I think would happen was Thrawn would come back and he would have some right-hand man person, or maybe like he just sends Enoch.
Right.
No, I think Pelion... Pelion is one of his strongest officers in control of adjunct ships. So Thrawn relies on him within battle tactics, because the biggest problem that you see in the books is that lots of the people have an ego and they want the glory for kills. Pelion is just, I will do what is told to the letter because that's how we're going to win. So I feel like Thrawn relies on that too much. He wouldn't send Pelion. I feel like he might, in my mind's eye, I feel like he would be sending like Enoch to do
the dirty work.
So say there's more of the in Mando season 2 where we see the cloning facilities. I think maybe something that Thrawn is trying to like fulfill the final order, maybe. So he's trying to go to all those places and see like what cloning is left. I feel like he might send Enoch to go and do that while he's doing this stuff. And then like you with Carson Teva, I feel like he would see the big picture as to what was happening. The rebel leaders are still being like dragging their feet about it, being like, it's not a problem, it's just a warlord. So he would send Mando, and Mando would have like a group of people that would be sent to disperse like this like faction of stuff, because
like Cara Dune.
So that would be kind of a mind blow if she came back.
That would be cool,
I don't
but
think she will.
Definitely not.
But I feel like if that's my idea for the most feasible story that continues the idea of what's currently happening forward. Or it could just be, I feel like people would be really mad, but I feel like it would just be like a side quest with like Mando and Bo and like
filler movie.
Well, because it's like, granted, I'm not at the helm right now, so I don't know
where the story's going.
Because I assume they got a whiteboard with a timeline of what they want to happen.
Yeah.
So, and they're just keeping their cards close to their chest. And they're not doing the Marvel thing where they're like, we are doing Avengers, Kang Dynasty. And now they're like, we have to choose a new villain. So,
no Kang?
If you didn't know, Jonathan Majors was found guilty on assault.
Which is upsetting.
He really was a good villain, huh?
It makes me really sad.
He's a villain IRL and
Yeah.
a villain in the movie.
It's just really disappointing because he was such a good actor, and I loved his performance as Kang, and I thought Kang was gonna be such a good villain, and now they have to completely change directions. So that's an L.
yeah.
Just don't beat people, I guess.
Yeah.
Is it
It's
really
pretty
that
simple.
hard?
It's pretty simple.
But
I feel like I agree with Jacob for the most part on the direction of the movie. Personally, I wish that if they did a movie, it would be the great connector between Ahsoka, Mandalorian, and Book of Boba Fett, and all the other shows that we have based in the sequel trilogy right now. But again, Jacob brings up a good point. If they're seriously considering doing that as the next season, and that needs to be the next installment of Mandalorian, saying end of 25 or something like that, I feel like a movie of a side quest or of a different villain like Enoch is really what they're gonna do, because they don't have time to make the next season of Ahsoka and all the other stuff, because we don't know the timeline. I'm just excited to see what they would do to begin with. Even
my biggest mystery is if they do Heir to the Empire as a movie, and they have a Mando movie and they're trying to bring everything back together.
Right.
How is Ahsoka and everybody else getting back from Wayland?
I think that's going to be Ahsoka season 2. It's going to just be, that's going to be their ending is going to in my eyes, is going to somehow tie in with after what we're left with at the end of this Mando season 4 movie or whatever they decide to do with it. I think that the end of one of them will show us how it all is going to tie together. But I'm very interested to see what comes next. And I don't have a preference, movie or series.
yeah, me neither.
For Mando.
I just
really
want something.
I miss Star Wars film at the cinema. It's really fun, coming home and being able to sit down and watch it with my dad and stuff. But you just cannot beat the cinema experience when you have the big screen and the full sound around you. There's just nothing to compare to it for digesting media, in my opinion. So I fully would just be if you want to do things as movies moving forward and do series every now and then, like what we've had for the past 4 decades. I'm fine with that. And then we get a series here and there, things that are animated or just little spin-offs. That's fine by me. I wasn't a huge fan of when they decided it felt like everything was going to be a series and that's all they were going to do.
Yeah.
Because they're a series equals more content equals more money. And it's well, then at that point you had a couple really good ideas for a series, and then you had really good concepts that would work really well as a movie. But then Disney came in, they're now make it a series. So then you're just dragging this story that can be told in 2 hours. You're dragging it out to 6. And then you're well, how can I drag this out even further? And that's why we got things with Kenobi that people really disliked, because then it was just, you took the movie and you stretched it thin.
Yeah.
And then all the story beats that are really important could just be condensed in it. So I feel if they move towards the movie side of things rather than the series side of things, I feel it will be beneficial to revamp Star Wars, just because there's a lot of people being disinterested in it right now.
Yeah, I think it's going to help a lot too that we have Dave Filoni as the sole person that's going to make sure that continuity wise everything connects. I think that was also part of the issue that we've had where people feel burned out because as a company, Disney and Lucasfilm wanted to just have stuff always coming out to keep interest in that regard. But then there was so many things that people were polarized on. A lot of people have just tapped out and they're not as interested as they would be. So having one person that's going to just take each director's and writer's ideas and be
Once out.
All right. We had Rocky with us the whole episode because he wanted to chill in the hot room.
stowaway on set.
Here,
Please don't knock over the
Rocky
speeder.
cameo.
Rocky cameo. We haven't had a Rocky cameo in months.
It's been a while since we had a Rocky cameo.
Be free. Oh, Blackjack.
Blackjack is mad because I didn't pet him when I came over today because my hands were full.
Tisk.
So he's waiting patiently. But yeah, I think it's going to be very helpful going forward that Dave Filoni, especially with all this Mando stuff and this whole timeline, this era of Star Wars that we're working on right now, I think it's going to make everything go a lot more streamlined going forward. So you can have the best of both worlds. You can have different writers and different perspectives, And then you can also have someone that's like, okay, here's your ideas. Let's make it work in universe.
Yep.
So
I also, movies would force them, well, hopefully movies would force them to slow down, because I think one of the main reasons why, not even just Star Wars fans, I think everybody's got franchise fatigue. Because think, what are the only movies that are coming out that people are really going to see, or like things that people are really watching, is Star Wars, Marvel, and DC. And like, now we got like new Wonka and new Ghostbusters and new...
It's just
So
revamping
it's just
all old things.
reboot.
New Transformers. It's like, there's not a whole lot of movies coming out that are like brand new original ideas that are like real big pools to the theater. Like Oppenheimer and Barbie, I would say, are the exceptions, but Barbie is, again, a franchise.
That's probably my 3 movies that I saw this year that I probably enjoyed the most were Barbie, Oppenheimer, and the Five Nights at Freddy's movie.
Yeah,
Just
dude,
out
those
of
were
everything
fire.
I went and
But
saw,
FNAF is also a franchise.
it's a franchise, but the difference is that this is the first time it's ever been on television. And secondly, that was made, you can tell it was made with care, and it was made for the fans. That's a big issue that I've had with like the new Transformers movie. I love, if you haven't seen the Bumblebee movie and you want to watch just a good movie in general, the Bumblebee movie is fantastic because it was faithful to Transformers fans while also telling a good story. Then Rise of the Beasts came out this year and it fell flat because we just went back to that very corporate mindset of, okay, we need to keep the interest, and if we just slap the name of the franchise on it, then people are going to go see it and it's going to make money. So that's an issue that I've seen a lot, and I definitely have. I've had Marvel franchise fatigue for a long time, probably since Moon Knight, I'll say. I just stopped caring to keep up with everything altogether.
I'm struggling to keep up with Loki season 2. Like, the season's already over and I'm like halfway through it, but it's like I just keep taking breaks, and it's like it's really good. It's a really good show. It's just Marvel has oversaturated themselves so much that it's like I don't go, oh, a new Marvel thing, I'm really, really excited for it. I just go, Marvel? Another Marvel thing?
Yeah.
Yep.
Distance makes the heart grow fonder, Disney. Give us some distance.
I feel like the most important thing we have to do or talk about now is what's been sitting in front of us the entire time for our Christmas special episode.
Greedy
Time to make it the Christmas special
Jackson
episode.
really wants to open the presents, doesn't he?
Yeah,
He's a
bro.
little greedy Gus. He's very material girl.
Oh, shut up.
He's giving material.
Vanessa.
I
am a material girl. So this is a
saw
gift.
him. I looked at him. I said,
This is a gift from Commander Bly, the one and only. Shout out to Commander Bly.
The tag is dope. Look at the back.
He's got a little clone trooper on the back of the tag.
I'm
Very
gonna
cool.
eat it.
And he has. Oh, they're holding candy canes instead of blasters.
Yeah.
I just realized.
Nice.
Yeah, so he gave us this gift. He wrapped it all pretty. He refused to tell me what it was, but he said we needed to open it on the show. So,
I'll cut the ribbon.
someone need a knife?
Someone need a
Anybody got a
knife.
knife?
One today.
Jacob's always got a knife.
I always do. Mostly.
Are you guys present? When you get a present, do you tear it open or do you unfold?
You tear it open.
around? Yeah.
Jackson's been the most excited to open it, so I'll let him do it.
All right, Jackson.
It's gonna be in a box.
It is in a big bad toy store box.
A big bad
This is not for letting me talk that much on the show.
What?
I'm fucking with you.
Dang.
All right, here I'll lightly cut
Bro.
it.
It's like a balloon inside.
Dude, that would be hilarious though. I'll just get the sides cut so then we can see everything together.
Money shot.
Money shot. Whoa!
Oh my god.
There's sharks.
Sucks.
No.
Shout out to
Jacob,
all
put it in the
my
middle.
shout out to all my homies in the Discord that know what the shark meme
The
is about.
shark socks.
Alright. So there's black and green. Who wants what?
I don't really care.
I'll take a green. I think that's funny.
Oh, there's something else underneath.
There's
that.
more stuff.
Oh,
can't
what
see
that
it.
is.
There's serious
Is there
socks
shark?
for not so serious people. What do we
Shark
have?
Week. Shark Week.
That's hilarious. Is that Sharknado or is that just it's just a great white shark?
It's a bobblehead. It's a great white bobblehead.
Oh man,
So we gotta unearth him, right?
that's always that's Bly for you.
Shark Week.
Bly always trolling.
Shark on the set.
shark bobblehead for the set.
Oh,
Dude,
good boy.
that's hilarious.
Rip our audio
Where
listeners.
doth it bobble? Oh, you got to take this foam thing out. Watch me break it.
Bruh.
Bro. This looks like if you were to watch a shark movie, this would be on the dash of the van of the main protagonist.
Yeah. Dude, that's hilarious.
That's funny.
That is so funny.
And he's smiling.
Thank you, Bly, for this wonderful, wonderful gift of a shark. And yeah, shout out to all my homies in the Discord that know about the shark meme. Very nice.
Very, very good.
Bly, stay trolling for real.
Inside joke. If you guys are not in Discord, you don't know.
Yeah, so you need to join the Discord to get the lore.
Get the jokes. Get
That's
the lore.
Shark Week.
Now, if we're giving gifts, I have come to present some gifts. Ho, ho, ho.
I did not know this was happening.
Neither did
Actually,
I.
we
Why
did.
would I tell you?
That is true.
This is yours, Jackson.
Oh, shit.
And this is yours, Jacob. Make sure you check the bags, because there's multiple things in the bags.
Jackson, you want to go first?
All right.
You want to be a little good boy?
Here we go.
I got Kodiak mix.
Hey.
Jackson's favorite.
I do be eating a lot of Kodiak.
Jackson loves his Kodiak pancake mix.
They are really good though. For real.
I didn't know which flavors you liked the most.
The chocolate is.
Jackson, there's other stuff in there.
Oh shit.
I think there's 2 or 3 other things in there.
Oh
McDonald's
sheesh,
card.
the McDonald's.
$20 to
card.
McDonald's.
Sheesh.
This economy,
I know
that's
you were
one
rich
beverage.
like that. Hold up, let me see.
Because I know my homies like to
wow.
go get their McDoubles.
The chocolate chip.
And there should be one more
Chocolate
thing in there.
Sheesh, thank you, dude.
But yeah, I got you the Loath Cat.
The Loath Cat is cute. I love Loath Cats.
whole
I'm a Loath Cat
ass.
supremacist.
But all right.
Thank you, dude. I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
of course.
Hell yeah.
Happy Christmas.
He also got a Starbies on the way
He also
here.
did get
I
a
did.
Starbucks.
He got a Starbies.
It was really good.
We don't record in the mornings a lot, so I had to indulge.
Oh shit! Lego Indiana Jones!
Imbiamba Jones.
Indiana Jones! I love this set. I love it.
Do you have that
Are
one
you
yet?
gonna make it?
You already have it?
Yes, but
Damn it.
I will. Hey, bro! I will take more Indiana Jones shit every day of the week because there's just no more anymore.
What about the other one? Do you have the Pharaoh one? Mm-hmm. Oh, damn it.
I made it my goal to get them all, but
it.
I will build this probably on stream
All right,
Because-
sweet.
A stream Lego build?
Dopeness monster.
because I still have the Inquisitor Scythe to build too, so I can build that as
Dope.
well. Thank you, Thomas.
Yes, of course. And there's something else in there, too.
Oh, paper. McDonald's.
Had to also hook up
Yummy.
the homie with McDonald's.
I'm gonna eat the card.
Okay, that's disgusting, dude.
Huh?
Why would you put it that far in your...
Why it tastes like McDonald's?
Does it taste like the Switch cartridge?
No. Have you ever tasted a Switch
I
cartridge?
don't want to taste it.
Dude,
you want to?
you
No.
need to try one.
Dude, do I need to go grab?
I
a
need
Switch
to
cartridge?
try one.
Yeah,
but-
you have to click a Switch cartridge. Thank you,
For
Thomas.
context,
Of course. Had to
thank
help
you,
homie
Tommy.
out. But
Why you touching me? I'm not touching.
Because I can't reach over, and I thought we were gonna do like a group hug thing, but it didn't work.
Get him. Get him.
oh my.
Okay.
Oh dang! Your dad just sent that he got a Christmas gifts from his students.
Oh,
Got some mini
He
Funko
got-
Pops.
Yeah, he got the mini Sabine, Hera, and he got some Mary Sithmas socks.
That's funny.
Dopeness
Not as
monster.
dopeness monster as these were.
That is dopeness. This literally looks exactly like the emote, though.
It does. Yeah, the one where it comes out of the water.
Yeah, dude.
That's hilarious.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so I don't know if there's anything else to cover on this week's episode of the podcast other than the little rumors we talked about.
Yeah, no.
Oh, real quick, Star Wars products.
Oh, yeah.
Hot Toys absolutely dropped a bombshell this morning by showing off not only a Night Trooper figure, but also Enoch, and they teased a Death Trooper,
Yes.
Night Trooper in the background. And I'm so excited.
Gotta
Yeah,
get
dude.
them all, bro. That's the most difficult part. And the Night Troopers Rex.
I know. Or you mean Rexing around?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's slightly
He
different.
has had a gold piece under his eye.
Okay, yeah. The Funko that they did of the Night Trooper is Rex and Around's costume, but the hot toy isn't that. Okay, my bad.
Yeah.
But people are being like, it should come with a Rex and Around head sculpt in the deluxe one.
I was already planning on getting the Thrawn hot toy from the Ahsoka show, but
same.
now, like, I wasn't expecting them to reveal those all at once. I thought, oh, maybe they'll do a Night Trooper and then they'll do Enoch later on. But yeah, the Enoch is so sick, and then the Night Trooper, and then obviously they haven't officially revealed it, but I'm totally gonna get that Death Trooper.
Because if that Death
crazy.
Trooper comes with an alternate helmet with the ripped
zombie
jaw
head.
piece,
That would be
I would love that,
dude.
amazing.
it's yeah, those are. This sucks because everything that Hot Toys has like revealed Star Wars wise in the past 6 months are all like ones I was like, if they ever make that, I'll probably get it. And I'm like, damn it.
Yeah, dude.
But they'll be out for a while, so you don't really have to worry about getting it immediately anyway. So it'll work out.
They'll probably look better than the Black Series figure too, because I know dang well when they release that Night Trooper Black Series figure, it's just gonna be like a dusty gold paint on it instead of like anything iridescent.
They'll give it the Marak treatment.
It's gonna look like C-3PO maybe.
Threeso?
I really hope
So-
they make the Night Trooper,
Yeah.
a Stormtrooper, eventually as a Black Series figure. That would be really, really
That'll
cool.
probably be like a
'Cause they have-
2024 reveal.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I gotta get the Thrawn hot toy
Thrawn,
first.
that thing looks sick too.
I'm just waiting for the holidays to be done. So I
Yeah.
can-
All right.
There was also a little kind of vintage collection rumor report. New deluxe code name has been found called Crosswalk.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see what that's going to be. And then there was the weird Hasbro Vault.
Yeah,
thing
with
this
that-
early.
with absolutely
HasLab
nothing
Vault
Star
with
Wars in it.
Nothing good.
There's
dude.
like 3 Power Rangers things, 2 of the HasQuest things, like the board game that they do, or Adventure Quest. And they also did like 1 Ghostbusters. No, 1 G.I. Joe airplane, and that was it.
Yeah, it was a big letdown because and the other part was they emailed you 20 minutes before the offering was supposed to start.
Yup.
And so I was like, whoa, like they must know that like there's going to be a lot of traffic on the website. Like I was thinking
Well,
like,
everything was sold out like within 2 minutes.
yeah.
Which is still crazy.
Yeah, I mean the Unicron Transformers one was already sold out before I even was able to open the app at 12 o'clock. And then
It's because Zach had a link to it early.
I saw some people saying that there were like posts that said "Attention Star Wars collectors," but I don't know what people. I think that might be people lying because I did not see any posts that said "Attention Star Wars." But yeah, I was full disclosure. My dad wanted
to
the.
get that on. That's cute.
There he is.
Nice.
There's blood.
How does it taste?
Name my loaf cat. No. Name
your
the
loaf
loaf cat. Name the loaf cat, viewers.
I
If you
got
made it this far. Name the loaf cat.
Tanya. Tanya the Tuka.
No.
Yeah, the HasLab
Larry
thing,
the Loath.
full disclosure, I was totally gonna back in 2019. My dad really wanted the HasLab Razor Crest, but he was like, I don't have the space or the money for it. So I was gonna be like, yeah, I'm just gonna get a Razor Crest real quick. And then I looked and there was no Star Wars. So I was like,
Mad Chris.
We saw a Razor Crest at ICC last year.
We did.
yeah, what was it like $800?
No, it was actually retail price. I'm pretty sure.
Really?
It was either that. It was
like 4.
retail or maybe 50 above retail.
Watch the vlogs back.
Yeah.
It's the first day vlog.
Go watch the Guags.
It's sold out after the first day. I'm pretty sure too. They sold it to somebody. So that's the benefit of going day one.
Yeah. But yeah, aside from that, I can't really think of any other collector news that happened this week. But those hot toys,
Yeah. They
Hot
need,
Toys
they,
are
need to, they need to
crazy.
slow down. They're gonna.
I'm gonna need that.
I got a camera and mics I gotta buy. They need to slow it down. Speaking of mics, I saw these things at Walmart, and I was gonna look
The
up
tiny mics.
Yeah, they have body mics that connect to your phone through like a little receiver, and I wanted to check out reviews from them, see if that would be
You could
good.
use that for quagging.
Well, not even just guagging. Even for these, you just attach that right here, so you have like super crisp audio.
That's true.
I want to see it. I want to check reviews first, though. See how they are.
Interesting.
Interesting.
But yeah, I think that's all I got this week.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Thank you so much, everybody, for watching this episode of the 1313 podcast. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. If you haven't already, links all down below to all of our social media. Leave a like, leave a comment, hit that join button if you want to be in the level 13 tier and get stickers and a little icon next to your name. And if you want to go above and beyond and support the podcast, there is always Patreon. So thank you guys so much, and happy Kwanzaa. Bye!
Hey, this is Vanessa Marshall. I play Hera Syndulla on Star Wars Rebels, and you're listening to the 1313 podcast.
Dun 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 dun.
Hum da da hum da da hum dum dum da. Hum da da hum da da dum dum da dum.
Ba-do ba-do, ba-do ba-do, ba-do ba-dum, ba-ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-do ba-dum, ba-do ba-dum dum.
Hum da dum hum da da hum dum 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 dum. Hum dum da dum hum da da hum dum da da. Hey, hum da da dum da dum da. Hum da dum da dum da dum da. Dum da ba da dum dum da ba ba da ba da.